I'm going to talk to you very briefly about what we know. I'm not going to ask you to guess. I'm not going to make suppositions. I'm not going to ask you to try to infer anything. I'm just going to talk about what we know from the evidence that we heard in the courtroom, without any question. We first start with what happened. We know Maurice Mitchell shot and beat Eddie Mole, and Eddie Mole died as a result of that. We know that Maurice Mitchell went over to Eddie Mole's house with this gun already on him, fully loaded. And as you heard in the statement, not only was the clip loaded, but the gun itself was loaded. There was a bullet in the chamber. He didn't even have to rack it. It was that ready to use when he went over to Eddie Mole's house. We know that Eddie Mole didn't want him in the house and tried to shove that door to keep him out, but he went in anyway. As he himself said, I forced my way in, leading with the gun. The gun that he turns around and shoots, that not only goes through Eddie Mole, but goes into the wall. And I would suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that if you look at this bullet hole, it's pretty close to that door that's already closed. Now, there's no way really to know whether or not he was inside that apartment or outside when that happened and whether the door was closed or not. But I would suggest to you that if you take a look at this, he shoots him inside his house. The bullet goes through Eddie Mole, and you heard from the pathologist, and you heard from Dr. Davis something I thought that was pretty interesting as well. Not only did the complications of that kill him, but the minute that bullet hit Eddie Mole's spinal column, he was paralyzed. Eddie Mole hits the ground, and he can't even fight back because the bullet has cut his spinal column. So what happens after that? We know that Maurice Mitchell starts beating him. He starts beating him with the pistol that he carried over there that was already loaded, that he'd already shot him with. He beat him so badly that he knocks his teeth out. Teeth are found all over the apartment. Some of the plates, some of the gums, some of the teeth actually are coming out that have the root still attached. That's how bad he beat him. The doctor testified, and the pathologist made a reference to this as well, that he beat him so badly in the face that he broke so many bones there were just too numerous to mention. That he hit him so hard in the center of his forehead that it looked like a gunshot wound. That it had an open mandible fracture, which means he hit him in the jaw so hard that the jawbone broke and came out of the skin. We know that after he hit him the first time, there wasn't any blood then, but then he hit him at least 3 times after that. And he hit him with such force and with such effort that there was literally blood thrown all over the apartment. Literally from floor to ceiling. Evidence in this case, other than that, Mitchell's bloody fingerprint at the scene. Not just a fingerprint, but a bloody fingerprint. Mitchell identified by not one but 2 witnesses as the man doing the beating, as the man in his apartment, as the man doing the shooting. But even if you didn't want to believe that, he was caught right at the same scene by the police officers who also see him coming out of that apartment. With what? Eddie Mole's blood all over him. Eddie Mole's blood on the gun that he used to beat him. His gun. His gun. Maurice Mitchell's gun. We know that. Those are the facts. That's the evidence that you heard. And you heard it from that witness stand. You saw the photographs, you heard the testimony, you heard the statements, you even heard the statement from him. And he is charged now with burglary first. He's charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a violent crime, and he's charged with murder. And I want to talk to you very briefly about that. In my opening, I told you what murder was. Murder is the unlawful killing of another with malice. It is not the unlawful killing of another because I had a reason to. Now, I don't know, and I don't suggest to you for a minute that you know why Maurice Mitchell felt the ill will he felt toward Eddie Mole. I don't suggest to you that you know why he felt it necessary to take a loaded gun to his house, to shove his way in, to shoot him, to then beat him. I don't suggest at all that you know the why of that. There was testimony from the Stokes that Eddie Mole carried a money bag with him every day when he came home. And there was testimony that Mitchell was yelling at him, "Where is it? Where is it?" I don't know if he was there looking for the money or not. I don't know. I don't know if they've had a sexual relationship before. Something that made him, for whatever, angry or wanting a sexual relationship or whatever that would cause him that kind of anger. I don't know. I don't suggest that we all do know that. And what I really don't know, is what the effect of using crack cocaine is on somebody. Whether that causes you to hear things or do things. But we know Mitchell used it. We know he had it with him. In Mitchell's statement, he talks about the gun going off by accident. And here's the question on that. Was it an accident when he loaded the gun to go over there? Was it an accident when he said, "I send the kids in because I'm going to confront him"? Was it an accident when he pushed his way in? Was it an accident when he pulled the trigger and shot him? And as the man lay there paralyzed, was it an accident when he beat him over and over and over again? Murder is the unlawful killing of another with malice. And as I told you in my opening, that's what this case is about. Malice. It's ill will. It's meanness. It's anger towards an individual. We know he killed him. And we know he did it with malice. And if there's any question about that, if malice is any question that you have, think about this one other thing. This gun is heavy. And you'll have it back in your jury room, you can pick it up. If there's a question about malice and whether or not Maurice Mitchell had malice in his heart that day, when he hurt this man so much that he died, I'd ask you to think about this. How much malice does it take for somebody to go 1, 2, 3, 4? Because that's what he did. That, ladies and gentlemen, is malice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is murder.
All right, the defendant will rise. As to indictment 2016 GS 25-229, State of South Carolina versus Maurice Mitchell. Indictment is for murder. The verdict is guilty. Indictment 2015 GS 25-373, State versus Maurice Mitchell. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime is guilty. Indictment 2015 GS 25-373, State versus Maurice Mitchell. Burglary, first degree. Verdict is guilty. Indictment 2015 GS 25-369. Indictment is for possession of crack cocaine. Verdict is guilty.